Take a knee? What utter complete bullshit.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Donald Trump's dividing the country. Yeah, quick fact check. Donald Trump didn't start Take a Knee. Colin Kaepernick did. Months before Donald Trump was even elected. Kaepernick did it as a pro-Black Lives Matter stunt to draw attention to cops murdering African Americans. A narrative that's been completely debunked, given that white people are more likely to be shot dead by cops, despite black people committing more violent crimes. This new incarnation of Take a Knee isn't about protesting police murders of black people. There haven't even been any high-profile cases of that for months. It isn't about patriotism. It isn't about free speech. It's just the latest manifestation of mass hysteria and Trump derangement syndrome. Isn't it an amazing coincidence that the three most prominent personalities who popularized this new round of Take a Knee after Trump's comments all campaigned for Hillary Clinton? Steph Curry, LeBron James, Pharrell Williams. Oh, but I'm sure it's about patriotism. I'm sure it's about police brutality. Or whatever you've decided it's about today. And it's got nothing whatsoever to do with your butthurt over Hillary Clinton losing. So when are Steph, LeBron, Pharrell and all the other NFL chumps gonna take a knee to draw attention to the relentless carnage that is black on black murder? 700 plus homicides every year in Chicago alone. Mostly black victims. Nearly 2,400 black people killed by other black people every single year. Compare that to just 16 unarmed black men killed by police last year. That's roughly the same amount that gets struck by lightning. When are you gonna take a knee for something that's an actual problem and not a hysterical fraud contrived by the mass media?
There is still a problem. And that problem, of police brutality specifically, is real, it's true, it's urgent.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the problem of NFL thug brutality. Maybe they all hate the police so much because the cops are the only ones stopping them from beating up their own wives and girlfriends. Let's do another fact check. Moral high ground. No, you still don't have it. You're taking a knee as part of your temper tantrum over Trump being an autocrat, a dictator. While the idiot that started all this literally wears t-shirts of and praises an actual dictator. Oh, but the NFL really cares about free speech. That'll be why they threatened to fine players for wanting to honour 9/11 victims. But if Colin Kaepernick wants to wear socks depicting police officers as pigs, that's just fine. Yeah, you do realise you wouldn't even be able to have an NFL if it wasn't for the thousands of police officers that provide security for it every single weekend. The NFL really supports players' free speech. Unless they want to criticise a ref or dance in the end zone. The NBA really cares about free speech too, which is why they banned Donald Sterling for life and fined him $2.5 million over a private conversation. ESPN definitely cares about free speech, which is why they fired Kurt Schilling for sharing a meme on Facebook. Oh yeah, and CNN really cares about free speech too, which is why they ran defense for Antifa, a group that literally burns signs that say free speech. The left in general really cherishes free speech, don't they? That'll be why they violently attack conservatives who try to exercise it, ban them on social media platforms, and grease the skids for censorship by claiming that anyone right of Karl Marx is literally Hitler. Give me a break. None of you give a shit about free speech. Patriotism. Okay, let's talk about patriotism. The Ravens and the Jaguars kneeled for the Star-Spangled Banner and then stood for God Save the Queen.
That is video moments ago of the Baltimore Ravens and it's the Jacksonville Jaguars kneeling for the first game of week 3 here, which is in London. So the game's happening earlier than this. You see dozens of players kneeling, and then you see coaches and others locking arms as the American national anthem is played on foreign soil.
Yes, and then apparently they played the UK national anthem, and you can see them there. They're not kneeling, they're standing. This is it right there. They're standing behind her for the UK national anthem, but kneeling, of course, for ours, for the American.
Just think of the imagery of we're kneeling for our own country's anthem, and then we all rise to our feet and stand on foreign soil for another country's anthem.
Yeah, you do know that the entire foundation of your country's patriotism is based on the fact that you won a war against that same royal family, and now you're standing for their anthem. Oh, but you're so patriotic Bullshit. Oh, but this is just another example of Trump's racism. Let's talk about racism. Let's talk about how all the black NFL players who stood for the national anthem yesterday, guys like Janeo Grissom, were bombarded with racial slurs. Not from Donald Trump, from take-a-knee supporters. Yeah, they can't express their free speech without being called Uncle Toms and the C-word by racists. Oh, but Trump's the racist. Now, it's understandable why Americans are so pissed off about this. And it's easy to see why many of them are now burning NFL gear and vowing never to watch another game again. But if you're a Trump supporter, this is yet another gargantuan narrative fail for the left. Think about it. Trump has now associated opposition to him with hatred of America and disrespect of the anthem and the flag. As Joe Scarborough, hardly a fan of Trump, tweeted, "This may be unpopular, but it's a political reality. Every NFL player refusing to stand for the national anthem helps Trump politically. So well done for falling for that one, idiots." Real Americans don't give a shit about whiny, privileged, multi-millionaire brats and their tedious, tiresome virtue signalling. NFL ratings are already down 10% on Sunday alone, the lowest of the season. Even fans in liberal areas like Boston and DC booed their own players. No one's buying your vacuous excuses about patriotism, police brutality, or free speech. We know this is just yet another manifestation of your anti-Trump election butthurt. And yeah, it's your right to do it, just as it's my right to call you a bunch of hysterical fucking idiots. And what was the most powerful image to come out of all this? It wasn't any of the morons who took a knee or the Steelers players who hid in their locker room. It was Alejandro Villanueva, US Army veteran, who stood alone, honouring the anthem and everything it stands for. But I'm sure the Steelers supported him for expressing his free speech, right? No. The head coach attacked him immediately after the game ended. I guess some free speech is more free than the other. Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that. And click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video.